Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
Honorable members, welcome back. I now recognize Honorable Member for Lilongwe Mpenu to make his contribution. You have 10 minutes. Yes.
I thought we were using the old system.
No.
My apologies.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank you for giving space to the people of Lilongwe Mpenu to make a contribution towards the statement which was ably delivered by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. Let me thank His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, through the Minister of Finance, for the statement which he entitled "From Economic Recovery to Resilience through accelerating production and enhancing the legal and regulatory environment to protect the economy." Madam Speaker, this theme captures the essence of the budget statement. It must be stated, Madam Speaker, that it is professionally accepted that a budget is a plan expressed in financial terms. Madam Speaker, it has to be understood that any budget is made on the basis of underlying assumptions. But it must also be stated that the implementation of any budget is influenced by endogenous and exogenous factors. And therefore, what is cast or casted as a budget, at the end of the day when implementation comes, whether you realize what is stated in the budget is dependent on factors, external or internal, to the environment in which the budget has been drafted. Let me say, Madam Speaker, that the Shadow Minister of Finance from the DPP, who made a scathing attack on the budget statement, tried so hard to paint a bleak and gloomy picture of the economy. Madam Speaker, allow me to say that in trying to paint this bleak and gloomy picture of our economy, the Shadow Minister of Finance tried so hard to cite development projects that the DPP undertook. Suffice to say, Madam Speaker, that most, if not all of that he cited were development projects that Professor Bingu Mutharika, may his soul rest in peace, implemented. And we reckon that, and we acknowledge that. But when we talk about APM, Madam Speaker, the Shadow Finance Minister didn't find anything to say. He, for example, talked about the road in my constituency, the Ngoma Road, which was constructed by late Professor Bingu Mutharika. He talked about the road to Nchisi, which was constructed by Professor Bingwa Mutharika. These and many others, yes, we acknowledge that it is the DPP that did, but it is not the DPP of APM that did that.
Honorable Member for Lilongwe Mpeno, we have a point of order from the Leader of Opposition.
Oh.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam. I'm making a point of order. Is it in order, Right Honorable Speaker, for the member there to respond as though he is the Minister of Finance? The response which he is trying to say, to allege, are issues which the Minister of Finance is supposed to respond. Number two, is it in order, Right Honorable Speaker, for him to make an opinion which is erroneous and unfortunate, because the claims which is saying that those programs were not done by DPP, they were indeed done by DPP and continued, I was there myself, and I've been in the DPP from 2004. I can say that they were done by
opposition. Honorable Member of Opposition, are you contributing or stating the point of order?
Point of order, Right Honorable Speaker.
And you've exhausted your time. If you check on your time, you've exhausted the time for your point of order.
Right, but it was erroneous. That was totally erroneous. Thank you.
Thank you. You did ask if it is in order for the Honorable Member for Lilongwe Mpeno to be discussing what the spokesperson from DPP had said. It is perfectly in order, Honorable Leader of Opposition, because that's something that has been presented on the floor, and every honorable member has the right to debate what is presented on the floor. So he is in order to debate what is presented by the spokesperson. Thank you. Proceed, Lilongwe Mpeno.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in trying to paint a very bleak and gloomy picture of the economy, the Shadow Minister of Finance deliberately ignored certain facts. In trying to make the country believe that the president of this country, Dr. Lazarus Makathe Chakwera, is only concentrating on Lilongwe district when it comes to development projects, the spokesperson deliberately ignored the fact that the president of this country, Dr. Lazarus Makathe Chakwera, is constructing roads in Blantyre. The president is constructing roads in Zomba. The president is constructing roads in Mangochi. The president is constructing roads in Mzuzu and many other places. And in trying to paint a very bleak picture about the status of this economy, the spokesperson could not talk about the security houses that the president is actually building. The spokesperson could not talk about the 10,000 school blocks that the president of this country, Dr. Lazarus Makathe Chakwera, is building. The spokesperson deliberately ignored the fact that the president is constructing 900 health centers across the country. Madam Speaker, allow me to say this, that it is on the record that donors left this country, and for 12 good years, this country lost donor support. It has taken the performance, the able performance of the current president to restore donor confidence. And it this must be put on record, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the president must be commended for the boldness in bringing about fiscal tightening measures For the first time, we've seen a president giving up benefits in order to suffer with the people. The beauty with the current president is that he has not hidden the fact that this country is going through difficulties. But we know where these difficulties are coming from. Because I said earlier, Madam Speaker, that implementation of any budget is influenced by endogenous and exogenous factors. This must be understood. When they talk about fuel prices being high, they must be honest to give a picture of what it is around our neighbor. I mean, when you go to our neighboring countries, Malawi is selling fuel the cheapest when you compare with our neighbors. It is therefore important, Madam Speaker, that we must give a true picture of what this country is.
Honorable Member for Lilongwe, you have 2 minutes to go.
City Center gave me his 10 minutes. Lilongwe City Center gave me his 10 minutes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me wind up. I had a lot to say, Madam Speaker, but allow me, Madam Speaker, to commend the Minister of Finance, who is working on delegated authority from the President for this statement, which gives a true picture of what the economy of this country is. With these few remarks, Madam Speaker, Lilongwe Mpenu submits.
Very much, Lilongwe Mpenu. Honorable members, remember to use your gadgets. On my gadget, I had the Rumpi East, and I have there's a central. Is it a point of order? Or if it's a point of order, you have the floor. There's a central East.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Hearing Mpenu Lilongwe Mpenu speaking, is it in order that the other side of the House, the leader of opposition, has only 7 members as we are speaking now? Is it in order that the DPP members in this House, there are only 7 this afternoon when we are enjoying a good debate of the budget? Is it in order?
It's a Central East. I'll put back the question to you. Was it in order earlier? We only had very few members on my right-hand side. Thank you. Lump East, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving space to the people of Rumfist to observe and respond to the budget statement delivered here by the Minister of Finance. I will concentrate.
Members, can we have a bit of order, please? Can you speak a bit closer to your mic so that you're audible a little bit?
Yeah, I will concentrate my comment and my contribution to the budget statement and my constituency, Rumfist. I am not going to belabor to talk about something else contrary to the needs of my constituency. Going through this statement that the minister delivered, if I go page 3 of that budget statement, the minister talked about 274 ongoing projects. And he said the anticipated ones are going to be 280. If you look at all these projects, nothing is for the people of Rumfist. The spokesperson that spoke on behalf of DPP indeed alluded to the fact that MALAWI-Chiveta Road was not even mentioned. And I should agree with him that indeed nothing was mentioned and nothing for the people of Rumpi East. Madam Speaker, this is the last mid-term review budget, the last one of its kind, and we shall never have another mid-term review budget because next year, December, is going to be another cohort coming here talking about national issues. Now, I do ask, 5 years that has gone by, 5 years that we have been here, what was the take? What was it for the people of Rumpi East? Nothing. What did we benefit out of that? Nothing. We are talking about budgets year in, year out. There's nothing that the current government would point at like what others are saying here, that there's a road there, there's a development there, 10,000 schools are being constructed, hospitals are being, but nothing for the people of Rumpi East. Now, are we not part of Malawi? Are we not Malawians? I feel sorry for the people that I am representing in the constituency.
For Nkhotakota Central, you're rising on a point of order. Yes, the technicians, I think, should also help us, so that, because it's difficult for me to tell if it's not done as a point of order on the gadget. So you have the floor, Nkhotakota Central. Honorable Member for Rumpi East, I have a point of order. Yes,
thank you
proceed.
very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for granting a point of order to the people of Nkhotakota Central. Is it in order, Madam Speaker, that the Honorable Member for Rumpi East is questioning the credibility of the revised budget statement, that it is offering nothing to his constituency for the whole of 5 years. Yet he is given each and every year 200 million for CDF. Secondly, he was the minister then for 2 years in his constituency, and he has done nothing. He has done nothing to his people, and entire today
Nkhotakota Central area. I hope you are not contributing. It's a point of order, and you've exhausted your 1 minute 36 seconds.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I just wanted to know what he is doing with the 200 million in his constituency, CDF money in his constituency. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nkhotakota Central. Honorable Member for Rumpi East, please proceed.
I am happy that there are certain people who would like, they come here and joke about national development. These jokes, sometimes they indeed enrich the House, because such people are needed in a community. In Chichewa, there's a visiru sa vipapamuzi. Honorable Speaker.
Member, the word that you have used, Honorable Member,
I'm saying in Chichewa.
Sorry, it does not matter which language you're using, but that is unparliamentary.
Sorry, I meant that. Pamuzi in a setup. Zisiru amazituma kupa nkuku matamangisa nkuku zarendo. That's what I meant. Not particularly to him, but in a village setup and a community, we have such people.
Honorable Member, insinuations are not allowed.
Okay, well, you want me to withdraw that?
Withdraw, please.
Okay, I do withdraw, Madam Chair, if it indeed it refers to my brother there, whom I love so much. Madam Speaker, Madam, I am talking about the budget and the mid-term review. In March budget session, if I talk about North in general, we were given 5 billion for Mzuzu Airport. We were given 18 billion for Mrumpi Nyika Road. We were given nothing Ekwendeni Mutwalo Perembe Road. We were given nothing apart from just a promise. I'm talking about the budget, then this review about gender Edingeni Road. We were given nothing about Mzuzu Chikwina Ushisha Road. We were given nothing about Chikangawa Mzenga Nkatabe Road. We are given nothing. The review itself does not even touch on this. Now, if I may ask, that 5 billion that was given to rehabilitate the Mzuzu Airport, where has it gone? Do we see any activity that is taking place at Mzuzu Airport? The answer is no, we don't see anything. Apart from when I last visited 3 days ago, I saw some people just doing Masange like, Kuchecha like. So I asked myself, is that 5 billion that we were given during that national budget that we had in March? I don't think that that 5 billion was that kusewera, but I was thinking that it's going to improve the outlook, the status of Mzuzu Airport. Continuing with my appeal to the minister is another question that I would like to ask him. Are we not the people and part of Malawi? Because when it comes to the North, it is more like they are saying North is also having this. North is also having that. North is also going to have this. Is that the way how to go? I thought when you talk about development, it must touch on the national appeal and national touch. But I know they will
Member
say...
for Rump East, we have another point of order. Honorable members, as I said earlier, if we can have a word with the technicians, they should show us when we want a point of order, it's supposed to be different, because that helps me to know that it's a point of order. Otherwise, I assume that all you want is to take the floor. So Salima Northwest.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. With due respect to your guidance, we'll be calling for the technicians to help us. But Madam Speaker, I'm standing as the chairperson for Transport and Public Infrastructure, in which air transport falls under your Committee on Transport, which is been able to brief that Mzuzu Airport has now started undergoing facelifting. This comes from not only the initiative from the committee, but also the members of parliament, especially a member of parliament for Mzuzu City, who has always lamented that Mzuzu Airport should be rehabilitated, including even your office, so that when flying to Mzuzu, at least we can safely do so. While a member of parliament from Rumpi East is even failing to press on this committee and the House for MALAWI Road to be rehabilitated. His people are crying loudly that their member of parliament cannot even talk about MALAWI Road. And yet his friends in the same region are asking for developmental activities like Mzuzu Airport, which is undergoing facelifting. Is it in order that he should be discrediting his fellow members of parliament who are pressing for the projects in this region? Madam Speaker.
Very much honorable member for Salima North West. As I said earlier, the honorable member is free to discuss anything presented in the House, whether he's discussing national or about his constituency. So he is in order to discuss that, honorable member. Thank you. Proceed, Rumpi East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for coming to my rescue. I think some people here, they claim that they know when I give them benefit of doubt that indeed they know. I started by saying I will concentrate on the development of my constituency, and I mentioned about Chiweta Mrowe Road. I talked about Chiweta Mrowe Road. Then I said, I'm now moving away from my constituency, and I should talk about Northern Region as a region. And I said, indeed, I saw some people kuchecha from Zuzu Airport, but can that be worth that 5 billion kwacha? That was the question and the wisdom I was putting across. I know experience and knowledge makes wisdom. I know he is a man of high integrity. I think he wanted to show that indeed President Chakwera would reconsider him for appointment as a minister again. And I pray for you, and I will pray for him that indeed Chakwera, being a dynamic leader, will reconsider him to be appointed once again as a cabinet minister. Madam Speaker, I am talking about the people of Rumpi East and the Northern Region as a whole in particular. I, as a member of Parliament for Rumpi, I have also the right to talk about the region that I come from, because that is my identity, that is where I come from, that is my origin, and nobody can stop me from talking about that particular region that I love so much. Madam Speaker, continuing with my appeal to the Minister of Finance, through him, the people of Rumpi East, as I'm talking to you now, they don't have maize, they don't have agricultural implements, they don't know where they can go and buy. I am told that indeed, through you, Madam Speaker, and the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Agriculture, the week before last, indeed sent some bags of fertilizer, and it was not enough because there were, I think, about 400 bags of fertilizer against 40,000 people in that particular constituency. I will give a praise where the praise is due. I want to criticize and critique where I feel it can be critiqued and contribute constructively to the development of unity and collective spirit that the people of Malawi, they are yearning for. Madam Speaker, I, again, would like to respond. Somebody mentioned about 2 million kwacha CDF. This was infected, this year's budget. Last year, we didn't have 200 million, we had 100. It was this year's budget that it was revised upward to 200. And so far, we have not enjoyed the entire 200 million, as alluded to by some of the people who may not know that they have not yet utilized that 200 million kwacha. Is still the process, though, and a linear process for that matter. Madam Speaker, I am talking on behalf of the people of Rumpi East. I am not talking here on behalf of people from elsewhere or a certain constituency somewhere in Salima or somewhere in Muchinji or Nkhotakota. I am talking about the people of Rumpi and in particular the region that I come from. So now, if I talk because I know that this is the political sentiments out there, up there, not here. Here in Chitumbuka we call it akomatiyeye banandi munu, akomatiyeye, wananda amba akomatiyeye wananda. So now, what I'm trying to say here is on behalf of the people of Rumpis. I would like also to ask the Minister of Finance to seriously consider Nyika, which he loves that road and that district Minister of Finance. Moreover, Ndapongo Zanga. I would like to put more interest on this. I would like the minister maybe to give a little bit of a thought so that the people of North, Rumpi in particular, they should also be able to thank the government of the dynamic leadership of Chakwera, as they said. We in Malawi here, we have to be seen to be united. Now, when I talk about Ekwendeni, Perembe, and Mzimba Eutini, I talk about real issues. When I talk about Eutini, Blala, Mzimba, I talk about real issues, Madam Speaker. When I talk about Chikwina, Mzuzu, Shisha Road, I talk about...
You have... No. He was disturbed in the video. You have a minute to go, Honorable Member for Rumpi.
Yes, I'll wind up. I thought this was my appeal and the feeling and the feelings that I can talk on behalf of the people of where I come from in the North. Madam Speaker, lastly, this situator, Bwengu, those mountains up to Karonga, the road is in a pathetic condition. Accidents are happening today, yesterday, tomorrow, and thereafter, accident will be happening. The Minister of Finance, through you, and the Minister of Transport, this is my humble appeal. Can you please give special attention to this, because it's bringing in billions of money, that M1 road, that part of M1 road. I would like, through you, Madam Speaker, this attention should go to the Minister and the Minister of Transport. I'm talking about collective spirit, so that that road can be done. The sooner they do it, the better for even the national economy of this country. Last. My appeal again, through you, the Speaker, able Speaker, we love you, our daughter from the North, that if education, through you, the Minister of Finance, together with your education minister, if education of secondary school can be free, so much the better for this country, because the toll and that issue of pressing members of parliament each time there is a situation of school fees is too much for us. With these few remarks, Madam Speaker, once again, thank you, and I should thank the Minister of Finance. This budget, the revised one, indeed has touched many Malawians, and we encourage you as a member of Budget and Finance Committee. I say bravo, the Minister. Thank you, Madam Speaker, once again. Thank you.
Rumpi East, there was a point of order from the Leader of the House.
Yeah, indeed, Right Honorable Speaker. I had wanted my elder brother there to wind up, otherwise I could have disturbed him. As a minister responsible for local government, unity and culture, we are also responsible in monitoring what is happening in the constituencies. And I think we are being misled. That is one of the MPs who's doing very well on the ground. because I have a list of activities that this government has done through him. And he stands here to say there's nothing that has happened in 4 years. So I wanted to remind him that through CDF, he has done Jarawe CDSS staff houses, he has done hostels, he has done water connections. At Chitimba, he has done staff houses. At Mparawe, he has done a clinic. And he has also done rights at Chiweta, Jarawe, and Mlowe. And through this government again, he has also completed Chiweta EPA staff houses. He has also done under GSED, or the Salawe TD office. He has done water projects. And as I speak, he is one of the well-to-do member of parliament when it comes to utilization of CDF. And I'm forcing myself to speak because even the district where he's coming from, after Lumpi West complained about the Nyika Lumpi Road, the contractor is on ground and he's actually doing the road right now. You can ask your fellow MP there. Also, the Chiweta part, this government which is doing, is also in his constituency. My standing, therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, with respect to my elder brother, is that while politics is good, but he should not also condemn himself, because what he's saying is if he has done nothing. While there's a lot that he has done. So let's leave politics aside and let's talk the truth. In fact, what we have done in Lumpi East with him was never done with any other governments before. He can't mention with any other governments before. We have done a lot in his constituency with him. And I thought he's coming back because of Dr. Chakwera, because it's Dr. Chakwera's leadership with him that has changed the Lumpi East. I thought, my dear brother, senior brother, you have done a great job. We can do politics aside, but we have the information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Local Government and Leader of the House. Any takers on the floor? Any takers on the debate on the floor? Or there's a point of order, Lumpi West. Is it a point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam. There is no button of point of information, so I had to punch on point of order.
Your standing orders, there's no point of information.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist in the system. It's not in your standing orders.
I think the legal committee has to look at it because these are very, very critical, important points.
The lady can't look at it if your procedures don't allow for it. We can only make a provision if your standing orders make a provision for it. So we don't have that provision.
Is it in order then, Madam Speaker, that always when members, they want to speak, some people, they don't belong to your constituency, but they make noise to disturb you so that you are not within the 10 minutes that you are allocated to. Is it not possible that we can debate, people listen, and people judge whether what we speak about our constituencies is right? In line with what the leader has spoken, true, Prem construction is there, is at Bembe, installing culverts. My appeal is that he has to be paid his upfront payment so that he can speed up the work. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Honorable Member for Lumpi East. Indeed, when our colleagues, Lumpi West, sorry, when an honorable member takes the floor, we're supposed to hear them in silence. And that's why I always keep on repeating that, can we hear the honorable member in silence? So you are indeed right that we're supposed to hear the honorable members in silence so that they can express themselves about issues in their own various constituencies. So you were in order, honorable member for Lumpi West. Honorable Member for Zomba Ntonya, then Zomba Chisi. Or is it? If it's a point of order, okay. Our lady, yes, you have the floor. Oh, as much as anyway, I've recognized you, but we did two whilst the member had taken the floor, and we had another two immediately after. That's the provision in our standing orders. So is it an issue to do with the presentation by Honorable Member for Rumpi East? You have the floor, Zomba Chisi.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for giving the floor to Zomba Chisi. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, can we have a bit of silence, please?
I wanted to make an observation that I know that our standing orders provide that the Honorable Minister of Finance responds to the issues that come on the floor during debate on budget at the very end of debate when the leader of the House asks for the winding up of the debate. But I was going to make this observation. Maybe it can be looked into by the Legal Affairs Committee in the standing orders. I thought it is plausible for the Honorable Minister to specifically come in immediately after the spokespersons and the chair for the budget committee, that he responds to the salient issues that come out of that particular, of those particular responses from the spokespersons of the parties and the chair for the budget. Then he responds to those before the general debate comes in. Because there is a tendency that we ride on most of the issues that come out from the spokespersons. So I was going to make this appeal, if it is in order, that maybe next time let us consider to look at our standing orders, that the minister can respond to specific issues that will be coming out from these, the spokespersons of the chair of the budget before the general debate. Because I have noticed that members ride on the same issues that have come out from the spokespersons and the chair for the budget. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Zomba Chisi. As you've rightly said yourself, according to our procedures now, the minister only comes in to debate after. Only and as when the standing orders are changed, that's when the minister can come in, or whenever he feels he can make an intervention, he is allowed to do so. But the tradition has been that the minister comes at the very end of the whole debate. But those are the things that your own Legal Affairs Committee can look at, and if we feel that's something that should be implemented, it's up to the House to decide at a later date. But as it stands, we will go as it is in our rules, but the minister is always free to intervene at whatever point that he feels he wants to make an intervention. And I've seen that, Honorable Minister, you have your, thank you.
Honorable, Right Honorable Speaker, much as it sounds constructive, but there are some observations, Madam Speaker, that can be insinuated by the proposal. Number one, it would mean that probably the Minister of Finance would forget very critical issues raised on the floor, and that when he responds towards the end of the week, he might forget some of these key issues. I just want to assure the Honorable Member that whenever somebody takes the floor responding to the budget, I'm busy also taking notes. That's number one. Number two is that we would like to create an environment where at the very end we could summarize some of the issues that are put on the floor, because not only are they responding to the budget, they are also proposing some positive proposals and solutions that we could incorporate when we are executing the budget. Such an issue, Madam Speaker, is the young, intelligent UDF spokesperson who doesn't only criticize, he also offers solution. Now, if we respond as it comes, then others will be discouraged. It's more like we have responded all the issues. So Madam Speaker, it has always been a tradition that we'll be responding at the very end, and this able minister, under the delegation of His Excellency the President, who made sure that the ECF is back and the donor confidence is restored, will ably respond to all the issues by the end of the debate. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Very much, Honorable Minister of Finance. Honorable Member for Zombantonya, you rising for contribution? You have 10 minutes, Honorable.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for providing this space for the people of Zombantonya to comment on the mid-budget statement ably presented by my honorable brother from Kasungu, Honorable Simplex Chichola Banda. Madam Speaker, there are some few highlights that are... Can I be protected from the leader, please?
Very safe, Zombantonya. You are very safe.
The time that he was not here, Madam Speaker, I was safe. So I need your protection on that regard. Madam Speaker,
order, please.
I have picked some few highlights in the statement that was ably delivered by the minister. The first issue is on the domestic revenue. He's saying that the domestic revenue is expected to rise by 0.1%. Madam Speaker, looking at the economic landscape of this country, and whatever we are going through, I don't see even this happening, to say the truth, because there are no enabling factors to contribute to this increase. And the other issue, Madam Speaker, is on the salary increase for the civil service, which has been increased by 18.7%. To say the truth, Madam Speaker, this increase is just a drop in the ocean. Why am I saying this? When you consider factors like the devaluation that we went through of 43%, and you increase salaries by 18%, it means the people cannot catch up with their expenses. Life is becoming harder for Malawians day in, day out. The situation that this country is going through, Madam Speaker, living in Malawi is like trying to cycle a humber bicycle, climbing Mlanje Mountain. Madam Speaker, at least on this, we could have given them a little bit more for them to survive, as we have the situation where it is almost closer to impossible to survive. Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, can we have order on my right, please? Order, please. Order.
Madam Speaker, on the food security related expenses, we have noted that there is an increase of 468% for food. This is very commendable. I must pat the back of my honorable brother. But as the people of Zombantonya, we still have other group village headmen. Up to now, they haven't received any food rations. Up to now. I have group village Chikumbu. She was just talking to me this morning to say, can you ask the Minister of Agriculture, maybe through the Minister of Finance, to consider us. Madam Speaker, you might be aware that Zomba was heavily affected by Cyclone Fred. Out of 25,000 families that were affected by the cyclone, at least 17,000 families are women-headed families. So you can understand how the plight or the issue that women go through as the owners of the homes, it's quite a tall order. The other thing, Madam, I have to comment on was on the farm input loan programs being driven by NIF. I have an example of some families from Group Village Headman Chikapa, who have done everything, followed every process to receive this money. They had to give insurance money. Just last week, they were told that they were not qualifying, they would not receive. But these are the people who are not on Tuklabakomo, who are not on Climate Smart, who are not on MVAC, and they were relying on NIF. And NIF is telling them today that they're not going to receive. Yet the rains are here. Soon, they will be needing the fertilizer, the farm inputs to start working on their land. On this, I'd like to ask the Minister of Finance to look into this issue. It is very important. If we cannot help these people, then we'll have a big problem. The other issue that I have to comment on, Madam Speaker, is the issue of PPDA. I'm happy that maybe very soon we'll be deliberating and passing or amending the PPDA Act. We have interacted with several MDAs. Most of these MDAs, they were complaining on how PPDA conducts their businesses. There is lack of efficiency, or maybe moving faster. In so doing, they're very slow. That is hindering on finance absorption. And some other projects are not finished in time because of the PPDA. And I'm happy to comment on this, and I'll be happy to comment on the bill that is coming in this House. On the other issue that I have to comment on, Madam Speaker, is the revenue enhancement measures. I have seen that there is a VAT waiver. Madam Speaker, my sister from Kasungu, the spokesperson for MCP, I like her so much. Madam Speaker, she comes from Salima. She's contesting in Salima. I just wanted to bring to your attention if you know about this, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on the VAT waiver, on
what you did a minute earlier was better for decorum. I didn't want to mention it, but for decorum purposes. Yes, thank you.
Madam Speaker, on the VAT waiver for motor vehicle imports for... Madam Speaker, let me comment on the open voluntary tax window for motorcycle operators. This is a very positive issue. That when we look at our people, the people that operate the cabazas, they're very, very poor people. And the issue that we should be talking about in this House is their safety. Because when we go into our hospitals, we find a lot of injured people. These injuries are emanating from the cabaza, And for us to put more tax or to start taxing them, I feel like it might not be fair. Because they are already paying tax through fuel levies and the like, though the fuel levies that we contribute is nowhere to be seen. We are failing to maintain our roads because the levies are nowhere to be seen. Maybe what we should be talking about is the issue of the levy, not taxing them. Because I was talking to Bosco, another guy who operates cabas at 6 miles. And I was talking to Charles, another person who operates cabas at Zaone Trading Center. They're not happy with this tax. So they have asked me to ask the Minister of Finance to consider them. Maybe we should start talking about safety, their safety, maybe enforcement of putting on helmets, maybe enforcement that they should be having maybe licenses. It's good. The other sticker issue, Madam Speaker, is the issue of waiver on motor vehicles. The impact that this will bring is very negligible, considering the fact that most people who are beneficiaries on this already bought their vehicle. And these are MPs. We have 193 MPs, over 90%. They had already bought their vehicles. But who are worried in this issue are the judges.
the judges are not happy with this, and maybe looking at the figures that are going to be raised, I've already said that it's negligible. Maybe we should start talking, we should start debating. Maybe they can include this in the main budget that is coming in April. With these few remarks, I submit, Madam Speaker.
Very much, Zomba Antonia. Honorable Leader of the House, Honorable Member for Lower East, Lower West, you are rising on, was it a point of order or contribution?
Lower East is me, Madam.
Sorry, Lower West, sorry.
Okay.
I saw. Yes, I'm sure the presiding officer tomorrow will give you a chance to do so.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Many times when my fellow leader puts his hands in the pocket, he loses sense. When he takes the hands out of the pocket, he speaks sense. I want to plead that if it takes always, even for you to win and come back, don't speak with your hand on the pocket. Because you normally speak sense when your hand is out of the pocket. I love him. I love him, Madam, and for information, every time he speaks, everyone can agree in this house, there is wisdom. Thank you for the wisdom. Leader, thank you for the wisdom. I wanted to thank you, Madam, in the manner I wanted to thank you, Madam, in the manner you have chaired proceedings today. And I wanted to also thank honorable members who have taken time to respond to the media budget review presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance. As I go out of this room today, I'll go up a happy person, because sometimes when a member speaks here, the government machinery is listening. So the government machinery has told me that I should also tell Olumpi East that there is a 454 million Kwaja project at Chitimba coming to him. The water project at Chitimba coming to him. So Chitimba is in Olumpi East. And the Honorable Minister of Finance, there are so many projects in the north that you have done. One of it is the Zuzu City Council Office. I really wanted to thank you because it has continually enjoyed benefits. Madam, tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll start with questions, but immediately after questions, we'll jump into debate. And therefore, honorable members who are willing to do their debate tomorrow, let them get ready and ask for the presiding officers to give them a chance to speak about the budget. But just as Olumpi East has done, let's also concentrate on our constituencies, because all of us, apart from politicking, we must come back come 2025. Don't spend so much time with rhetoric and misleading information. Go straight to your constituencies. Otherwise, Boma Ndilomweri, Sinigusinta. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of the House. Honorable members, Honorable Member for Blantyre, we have gone past 5 o'clock. We cannot go into any debate because it is beyond 5 o'clock. There was no time extension, so I cannot recognize a member after 5. Honorable members, it is 3 minutes past 5. I now adjourn the House to tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. House adjourned, and thank you very much.
Well, that's how the House has concluded its business today, Monday, the 9th of December, 2024. A summary of today's deliberations on the floor. The opposition spokespersons on finance presented their responses on the 2024-2025 mid-year budget review motion moved by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Honorable Simplex Chichula-Banda, MP, on Wednesday, the 4th of December, 2024. These opposition spokespersons on finance are Honorable Joseph Mwanamveka, MP for DPP, and Honorable Ismail Gumba, MP for UDF. Honorable Mary Navicha, MP, on behalf of the chairperson of the Budget Committee, presented the committee's response to the 2024-2025 mid-year budget review motion. Today, members have started a general debate on the motion, and the following members made their contributions: Lilongwe Mpenu, Rumpi East, and Zomba Ntonya. The Speaker, Right Honorable Catherine Kotanihara MP, has since adjourned the House to tomorrow, Tuesday, at 9:30 in the morning. Umonso mmene tamalizira kupatsirani tsatani awazokambirana za phungu kuno ku Nyumba ya Malamulo lero lolemba pa 9 December 2024. Muzokambirana za lero olankhulira zipani zotsutsa pa nkhani za chuma olemekezeka a Joseph Mwanamveka MP a chipani cha DPP komanso olemekezeka a Ismail Gumba MP a chipani cha UDF apereka mayankho awo pa pempho lomwe nduna ya zachuma olemekezeka a Simplex Chichula-Banda MP adapereka mnyumbayi lachitatu pa 4 December 2024 pamomwe boma lagwirisira ntchito chuma cha boma mu theka loyamba la 2024-2025. Ndipo olemekezeka a Mary Navicha MP ndiwo anapereka yankho la komiti ya Nyumba ya Malamulo yoona za chuma pa pempholi m'malo mwa wapampando wa komitiyi. Lero aphungu a Nyumba ya Malamulo ayamba kuthira ndemanga pa pempholi lomwe nduna ya zachuma idapereka pamomwe boma lagwiritsira ntchito chuma mu theka loyamba la chaka cha boma cha 2024-2025. Aphungu omwe apereka ndemanga zawo ndi amadera a Lilongwe Mpenu, Rumpi East ndi Zomba Ntonya. Pakadali pano, a Speaker a Nyumba ya Malamulo olemekezeka Mayi Catherine Kotanihara MP ayimitsa zokambirana mnyumbayi kuti aphungu adzakumanenso mawa lachiwiri nthawi ya 9:30.
Osayiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.